Plant City High School student has been charged with 93 counts of child porn possession.
Teenage boy has been arrested for child pornography.
A 16-year-old high school student is in the Hillsborough County Jail.
They had been investigating 16-year-old Jared Henry since September.
On October 1, 2014, a 16-year-old Planet City High School student was arrested and charged with more than 100 counts of child pornography, including the production and possession of it. In September 2014, Canadian authorities passed a tip to Florida Department of Law Enforcement about images that had been uploaded online. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police told Homeland Security Investigation agents that a computer user in Planet City, Florida, was sharing images of child pornography online. After almost a month of investigation, on October 1, 2014, FDLE and Homeland Security agents used a warrant to search Henry's house, which is where they found the images, and then arrested 16-year-old Jared Henry in Planet City High School. Police determined that Henry molested, photographed, and posted pictures of a 6-year-old little girl on the internet.
This is what led to Henry's arrest. After being tipped off by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police that there was a computer in Plant City sharing child porn, the FDLE conducted a search of Henry's Plant City home, coming across computer evidence which showed, according to their own news release, and I quote, Henry molested the child in the images to produce the child pornography in his possession. That victim, according to the FDLE, under the age of 12.
It should be noted that the 6-year-old seems to be the daughter of one of Jared's family members. I couldn't find any explicit info about how exactly he had access and time to do such a thing, or even how he knew the child. But the court testimonies proves the victim is a family member of his. Henry was first arrested Wednesday, October 1, and charged with 9 counts of promotion of a sexual performance by a child. However, after further investigation, already being held in Hillsborough County Jail, Henry was re-arrested on Sunday for 93 counts of possession of child pornography, 9 counts of promotion of a sexual performance by a child, and 4 counts of lewd and lascivious molestation.
Henry is now facing over 100 child pornography charges.
Henry was held on a $802,000 bond at the Hillsborough County Jail.
And he is now in jail here. His bond has been set at over $800,000.
Students at Plant City High School, where Henry was a student, were surprised by the arrest. Classmates said they couldn't believe one of their own would be accused of such heinous crime. Henry grew up in Planet City and attended a private Christian school before starting at Planet City High School.
Kid that's arrested, 16-year-old kid, over 100 counts of child pornography.
That is really scary.
Parents were shocked at Plant City High School, where Henry was a student, when they heard the news.
To know that's going on around my children, you know, it almost makes you want to take them home and homeschool them.
I think parents should have more control of their kids and what they're doing, actually. That's a shame. It really is.
Christine Florian's daughter goes to Plant City High School, and she asked her if she knew Henry.
She said that she doesn't, but some of her friends did know him, and they said that he was just a quiet kid.
At school, 16-year-old Jared Kyle Henry is described as a loner, a quiet kid. He's now charged with horrific crimes. Valona Mitchell-Weston is a mental health counselor who's been talking to students today at Plant City High School.
They're saying that it was a shame that they didn't know about him, that he had those type of issues, and that other kids were saying that he was weird.
Police adds that when someone is arrested on charges like Henry's, agents reach out to find other victims. However, it seems that fortunately there is no other victims in this case.
We have decided to identify 16-year-old Jared Kyle Henry because of the nature of the crime and because the Florida Department of Law Enforcement believes there may be other victims other than the one they have already identified in this case.
In court, Jared Henry, 16 at the time, is being charged as an adult. The defense tried to claim that everything was a simple mistake because of Henry's lack of knowledge. The defense told court that the defendant was a shy high school student who took nude photographs of a sleeping 6-year-old girl and uploaded them to a website frequented by pedophiles from all over the world. His lawyer also said the then 16-year-old was a sheltered youth who didn't know such an act could send him to prison. However, the prosecutor said the teen was a dangerous predator who needed to be separated from society. In a 4-hour hearing, the defense presented one witness after another who talked about what a good boy he was, how he had never been disobedient or mean, how he went to Christian school and said yes sir and yes ma'am. The victim's mother also testified saying, "He set in motion the utter destruction of my family. Our lifelong relationship have been completely severed. Mr. Henry has stripped my daughter of a normal childhood. She will be reminded of these acts for the rest of her life." Family members packed both sides of the courtroom. Some, when they spoke, asked the circuit judge to go light on Henry. He was a precocious youngster who kept to himself, they said. However, the victim's mother spoke of the irreversible damage done to her little girl. "As I lay my head down at night, I think of the 27 men who Mr. Henry shared his pictures with, of him molesting my baby. I wonder if they are viewing her and trading them as I sleep." Henry lived in Plant City with his mother. A civilian employee of Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Patricia Henry, his mother, spoke of how respectful her son, how his arrest and the subsequent court case had devastated him, and how what he had done had made it difficult for some family members to speak with each other. "I just want you to know that I am very sorry," she told the family. "I wanted to tell you this from day one. If I could have done anything to prevent it, I would have." A forensic psychologist also testified saying Henry was a lonely, sexually inexperienced kid who started looking at adult pornography in his early teens. At about age 15, Henry's peers began to have sexual experiences, something he wanted but did not know how to achieve. Henry began to seek out pornography that depicted girls close to his own age. That led him to stumble across websites where pedophiles are known to trade images of young children. He took the pictures of the 6-year-old and uploaded them in return for pictures of naked teens. The psychologist adds that in forensic interviews, Henry professed no sexual interest in young children himself, a claim backed up by a psychosexual assessment. He also showed no sign of being a psychopath and considered him unlikely to repeat his crime. 18-year-old Jared Henry also tried to explain how he got into such a thing, saying, "I was looking for girls my age because I had seen girls around school. I wanted a girlfriend. I couldn't really find one. I got curious and started looking for that." However, the prosecution replied by noting the length to which Henry went to hide his pornography in a hidden folder in his iPad secured with a long, complex password. "In no way do I feel he was acting as a typical 16-year-old, the prosecutor said. Jared also responded to the prosecutor's point, saying, "I didn't want my parents knowing I was looking at any kind of porn. I had been caught by my mother looking at adult porn, and it was something I didn't want her to find out again." Defense attorney William Knight asked Henry how he felt about what he had done. "I never thought I would be in this situation," Henry said. "I got caught in something that was over my head. It's torn my family apart. There is not an hour that goes by that I don't think about that. I just wish I could change it." He asked the judge if he could address the victim's mother. He turned around and with tears said, "I'm sorry for the pain I've caused you. Whether or not you believe me, I'm truly sorry." At the end, Judge Moody said she needed a few days to consider the sentence, given Henry's age and the circumstances. The 18-year-old had pleaded guilty to most of the charges against him, which include promotion of sexual performance by a child, lewd and lascivious molestation, and possession of child pornography. It should be noted that Jared cooperated with investigators in giving up names of adults involved in his online child porn circle. He also willingly handed over his collection of pornographic images stored in password-protected folders. All that may helped in lowering his sentence. On Monday morning, the judge gave Henry 8 years in state prison, followed by 22 years of sex offender probation, and he will have to register as a sex offender for life. The judge also recommended the Department of Corrections send him to a youthful offender facility.